don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. Winners win and losers lose. I can't explain it any better than that. I don't know how it happens, but winners win. And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture.
We do not want it to become a culture. That's 100% true. Game Time Brian here on a Saturday afternoon watching some college football. We do not want it to become a culture. We do not. But it's 3-3. It is what it is. We are out a litany. I mean a litany of players. But no excuses. So are the 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers are without Christian McCaffrey. They have lost Brandon Ayuk for the year. They've lost Javon Hargrave for the year. They are banged up. Deebo Samuel was in the hospital. He will play. Yes, he will play. Javarius Ward should play, banged up. George Kittle, foot, will play, banged up. Joey Bosa, not sure what it is. Put it in the comments. Banged up. We'll give it a go. They sit 3-4. They have a bye week. The difference is, in my opinion, the Rams, the Niners, the Seahawks, and the Cardinals, none of them are getting out in front of anybody. The Niners will be in this. They will be in this for the long haul. Make no mistake about it. But I think Dallas is the more desperate team. But, stay tuned tonight. Primetime Phil, 8 o'clock. I will put the link, if it's done, in the comments below. At some point today, I will put the link in, and we can, anybody new to the channel can see me and my partner, Primetime Phil, at 8 o'clock on Primetime Phil. We will break down all the NFL games, especially the Cowboys game. I'm already telling everybody I will not pick in my pickings out of a superstition. I don't feel that confident that Dallas is going to win. I'm very confident it's going to be a close game. Mike McCarthy's 12-5 following bye weeks. Dallas Cowboys under McCarthy just last year. We hear they're doing a lot of changes on offense. A change that I'm looking forward to is seeing some more motion involved. I know other people, other content creators have looked up and said, well, the top two teams don't run a lot of motion. Yeah, okay, I got you. CeeDee Lamb was a high motion player at the University of Oklahoma. If you want to help out a young wide receiver such as the two Jalen Tolbert and Jalen Brooks, Ryan Flournoy, you want to help them out, put them in motion. You give them a slight advantage over the defensive backs. It's just a fact. It takes more discipline with young people, young offensive linemen, to stay focused on the snap count. Stay focused. No illegal shifts, no false starts. It's harder, but you need to step up and be able to do the more complicated things in this league as a young player, or you're going to get passed over. So, but Dalvin Cook looks to be making his season debut with the Dallas Cowboys. He's got reps with the ones all week. It'll be interesting to see who gets, I'm going to say Zeke, if I had to say it. Who gets the demotion? I don't think you're going to see Deuce Vaughn, but who's not activated for the game? Zeke doesn't play special teams. Hunter Lepke plays special teams. So are we going to roll with Lepke, Zeke, Dowdle, and Dalvin? I don't know. Stay tuned for that. But I believe Dalvin Cook will get to start tomorrow. He will get the majority of the workload. I'm excited to see it. People have written him off. From what I'm hearing in the offseason, he looked phenomenal. The time away, especially even though he was on a roster, not getting a lot of playing time last year. We'll see. It's all speculation at this point. It's all BS. You know how that goes. But that's the positive. The positive is coming out of the bye week last year, Dallas worked on some things, got the offense turned around 180 degrees. It looked different. They are still going to be without Brandon Cooks. So, again, everybody forgets Jake Ferguson is a week more recovered, or 2 weeks more recovered, 10 days with that high. He had a high ankle. It wasn't devastating high ankle. Remember, they thought he was lost for the season, or a kneecap. I thought it was an ankle. Put it in the comments. But a week removed, he should be better off. Unfortunately, we lost John Stevens Jr. in practice to another ACL to the same knee. So my guy, who I wanted to come on the scene and give a burst of energy, is lost for the season. Yet again, my heart goes out to John Stevens Jr. It's not good for him. Hopefully he can rebound and heal up and try and start his NFL career next year. Unfortunately, like I warned people, high ankle sprains. It's been a month since the Micah Parsons injury. A bad high ankle sprain is like a break. Sometimes it's better to have a break. He's not going to play. All indications point to he is out. Along with Deron Bland. Yes, Deron Bland will miss his 7th straight game as a Cowboy. Has not played one snap this year with the Liz Frank. I believe it was a Liz Frank injury, but it wasn't a break. No surgery required. I don't know if he had a Liz Frank. It was a foot. It's some sort of issue. But I know D. Law's out, but no Bland. We will not see Bland tomorrow. Kalen Carson looks to be good. Hold your breath that today they're doing their walkthrough before they get on a plane. Hopefully that Eric Kendricks is playing. That will be a much needed. Listen, this is what I can guarantee about the 49ers. I don't care how banged up they are, they're going to run the ball, okay? You have to try and slow down the run. You have to. You have to slow down the run. And with Dalvin Cook and a week of rest, we have to run the ball after we get a lead. We cannot pass our way to a victory all day. I get it. People want to see passing. I do as well. CD and Dak supposedly have something in store. But is that Egbuka? No, it's not. I'm watching Ohio State game right now. But yes, we shall see what the offense can do. Dak Prescott came out this week and said he has been average. Yes, average. It is what it is. But to get a little more light on the game, let's go over to Ed Werder and see what he's got to say. Let's see what he's got to say.
And neither may win it this year. Yeah, I mean, injuries have depleted both rosters. The Cowboys on defense and the 49ers on offense. You know, Brock Purdy is 11-2 when he has Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and Trent Williams. He's 4-6 when any one of them is missing, and he's going to be missing at least 2 of them because Christian McCaffrey won't make his season debut because of the Achilles injury. Ayuk is out for the season after tearing his ACL last week in his knee. Deebo Samuel did practice some today, and so Mike McCarthy says they're preparing as if he's going to play. Cowboys, you know, Mike Zimmer not getting any breaks on defense. Mike McCarthy had expected that Deron Bland would practice today, but he didn't. He was restricted to just rehabbing that foot surgery, and Micah Parsons never saw him. So it appears increasingly likely both of those players are going to be out again.
Yeah, Micah, Tank, Deron, those are 3 of your top 4 players on defense should they all be out. Obviously, Micah and Tank. When you look at the records, that is, I think, the most surprising because, you know, again, we're thinking these are teams that are vying for the bye in the NFC, but you got the Cowboys at 3-3, trying to get on some sort of roll here coming off the bye. The Niners are 3-4. I think that, to me, is more surprising than the Cowboys being 3-3. I thought the Niners would steamroll, and obviously Christian McCaffrey being out and their injuries have played a role in that. But for Dallas to come off the bye and get a victory
Super
this
Bowl
week
hangover.
is going to take what?
Well, Dak Prescott said in his interview time with us today that he would say he's played average, and that's not acceptable. He's preparing to play better than that. He expects to play better than that going forward. And he did play exceptionally well coming out of the bye. Last year he had 30 touchdown passes and 5 interceptions after the bye, and he went into the bye with 4 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. So Mike McCarthy's teams have played better out of the bye. They're 3-1 directly out of the bye. But of course you got to factor in how poorly they played against San Francisco. They've lost 3 straight times. They've averaged 13 points in those games. 13 points is probably not going to be a winner on Sunday night. But Prescott has been critical of the team's practice habits, and he said there's renewed intensity and enthusiasm these last 2 days.
Niners are banged up, Cowboys coming off of the bye. If you can't beat San Francisco in this type of matchup, I don't know when you will. He's the insider, I'm the outsider.
And that's totally true. Listen, I understand we're beat up on defense. I get it. I mean, I was asked on NFC East Super Friends. I was on there. I was asked, what's the biggest disappointment? Well, we lost Sam Williams. We lost Marshawn Nealon. Sam Williams for the year. Everybody else is coming back, but not now. Marshawn Nealon went on the IR. He's out. DeMarcus Lawrence, probably our best run stopper as a pass rusher also. He's out, IR. He's coming back. Micah Parsons. I mean, it's crazy that we just keep losing people. That's 4 defensive ends that we've lost. We haven't had Deron Bland yet. But, looking at the lines, for the game tomorrow, Dallas Cowboys are a 4.5-point underdog still. The Niners are in a unbelievable situation where they need a W in the worst way. Let me turn on some lights here. Niners need a W. Make no mistake about it. It's going to be a tough place to win. I will not be picking Dallas to win, but that's kind of out of, they need to show me. I kind of think they can win this. It'll be a close game, people. It will be a close game. But I'm not lockdown confident. I don't know how anybody could say that they're that confident. Before we get to the trade deadline, and we'll break it down more tonight on Primetime Phil. I'll put the link at the bottom. Jerry Jones told The Athletic the Cowboys won't be making any trade deadline moves, but they may make a move to the game day roster. Typical Dallas, we're not going to make a trade. And this year, I don't have a problem with it. Where I sit right now, I would like to have a defensive tackle. Go get me a Dalvin Tomlinson from Cleveland. Everybody's saying big names like Myles Garrett. That's not going to happen, people. We can't take that kind of salary on. It's just not going to happen. And I don't have a problem with it. I know people are upset. The answers are on this team. If the guys play like they're capable of playing, we could go as far as we want to go. We're our own worst enemy. The Dallas Cowboys are their own worst enemy. And that's a fact. But The Athletic said, they won't be making any deadline moves, but they will make a move to the game day roster. Like I told you, Dalvin Cook will be brought up. He will be brought up. And that's how it's going to roll. Just real quick, I follow The Athletic. I'm going to read a little something, and then we'll close out this video. The Cowboys and the 49ers cross paths again in one of the league's great rivalries. Both teams are struggling. What needs to happen for the 49ers to win? What needs to happen for the Cowboys to win? The 49ers win by running the ball all over Dallas's weak run defense to control the game flow. Now, Dallas has done a decent job at times. They've gotten gashed at times. What team will show up? We don't know. I believe coming off a bye, expect the better of the two, albeit with a limited roster. The Cowboys will win with a strong game from Dak Prescott and a game-changing play on special teams where Dallas has been stronger than San Fran this season. That's one guy. Another guy, personally, I feel like this game is way more about the Cowboys than the 49ers. San Francisco's not right. Too many injuries, but I don't see Seattle running away with the division. I agree. The 49ers just need to stay in the hunt. I think they need to worry about the Rams, in my opinion. The Rams are going to hit their stride. That's what I'd be worried about. So let's see what's happening here. The 49ers need to stay in the hunt until Christian McCaffrey returns. A December run isn't out of the question, not for a veteran group like this. But as for Sunday, it feels like the Cowboys season is teetering on the brink of collapse based on who they have. They have Atlanta, then they're home against Philly. You play Washington twice. You have a tough schedule, which I like that. I like having a tougher schedule. It does lighten up towards the end of the year. This next 4 games, if you can find a way to go 2-2, I think that's going to spell or pay great dividends by the end of the year. If you can go 2-2 in the next 4, watch out for the Cowboys. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to one thing, everybody. It comes down to one thing. Getting into the dance. You don't have to win the division, even though I did predict them to win the division with the tiebreaker over the Eagles. That don't look right yet to me based on Eagles wins at this point. But we're all looking up at the Washington Commanders. Eagle fans don't like me saying that, and Cowboy fans don't like me saying that. Washington fans, Giant fans, it doesn't really matter what you think because you can't seem to get out of your own way. But we're all looking up at Washington. And right now, this weekend, tomorrow, Eagles have to go to Cincinnati. Cincinnati's not 100%, but Cincinnati's offense is pretty potent. Eagles defense is hitting stride for what they could do at the like in the middle of the pack, maybe a little above. They're actually playing well. So shout out to the Birds. I'm going to pick the Bengals tomorrow, but we'll see. But that's a tough game. Washington, there's rumor that Jaden Daniels may play now. Washington is a +3 at home. That tells me they're not going to play against the Bears. Unfortunately, Cowboy fans and Eagle fans, I think Washington beats the Bears. Obviously, we're rooting for the Bears tomorrow. Sorry, lead commander. We're rooting for the Bears to keep you within arm's length, arm's reach of us, whether it's the Eagles or the Cowboys. That's it. In a perfect world, Eagles lose at 1 o'clock. We'll be streaming that. 4:25, the Commanders lose at home to the Bears, and then Dallas finds a way, somehow, some way, to beat the 49ers in San Francisco at Levi Stadium. I don't know if it's Levi anymore, but put it in the comments. That's it. That's this week. It's exciting, but it's a little bit of I would much rather go into Atlanta this week. Dallas has to go on the road in Atlanta. I would much rather do that coming off a win. Maybe, just maybe we can get on a little bit of a roll heading into that Eagle game that me, Primetime Phil, Mark Holmes will be at. And company. West Virginia country boy and his daughter will be there. The Ward family, he's going to be there. I'm not positive if Randy Stites and his wife are going. I think they're going. That would be great. And anybody else who wants to hang out with us, no tailgate, but we could still hang out at the stadium before the game, after the game, at the hotel, whatever. It's going to be a great time. I'm looking forward to getting that tour on. Yeah, all that big. I've already had the tour, but my partner, Primetime Phil, has not had the tour. We're going to tour the Star. I'm going to go tap on the glass and say, yo, CD, lighten up, big guy. Run them routes. Oh, yeah, I'll get thrown out of the Star. But, it is what it is. And then we go over to Arlington. I believe we have a tour of Arlington, or AT&T. Yes. Can't wait. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited. But you know what? Stay tuned tonight, 8 o'clock. We break it all down in depth on Primetime Phil. So that being said, I'm going to stop this video. I got the UFC coming on soon. I'm going to get the pay-per-view. We're going to watch. It comes on at 2 o'clock. UFC 308. Let's go, baby. All right, I will talk to everybody, but just remember one thing and don't ever forget. We them boys.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Late.
These rhinos.